Jack goes missing. Mr. and Mrs. Lewis, with a 5-year-old daughter, Minnie, and a 2-year-old son, Jack, lived in a cottage on the edge of the forest. The children spent most days playing outside with squirrels, caterpillars, butterflies, and birds. Minnie made sure Jack did not get into trouble. Once he found a hole in the trunk of a tree and stuck his hand into it. Then he let out a howl as a wasp bit him. Mom had to ensure that he did not get into trouble in the kitchen. But Jack was always up to the same mischief. They had a puppy called Bingo. He followed Jack everywhere. They spent hours playing with a ball or playing hide and seek, or simply rolling on the grass. When Mrs. Lewis could hear Jack's laughter as she worked, she knew Jack was safely playing in the garden. Sometimes Minnie would join them. At other times, she would sit nearby with a picture book. One day, Jack toddled off into the forest with Bingo. Minnie was sitting with her picture book, so she did not see when he drifted off. After a little while, Mrs. Lewis looked out of the window. There was no sign of Jack or Bingo. Only Minnie sat reading under the tree. "Minnie, where is Jack?" called Mom. Minnie looked up to say, "He was here just now, Mom. Must be around somewhere. I will have a look." She got up and walked around the house calling Jack and Bingo. But there was really no sign of either of them. Worried now, she ran back to the house. "Mom, I cannot find him." Mrs. Lewis came out looking worried and scared. Both of them ran around shouting, "Jack! Where are you? Bingo! Jack!" But there was no reply. Now Mrs. Lewis was truly frightened. She called her husband, and Mr. Lewis arrived with sirens screeching. He had brought the police with him. People ran around the cottage and into the forest. Suddenly, Bingo came running out of the forest. He had a lot of twigs and leaves all over him. He ran to Minnie and Mr. and Mrs. Lewis, barking and pulling at their clothes. "He was with Jack," said Minnie. "He is asking us to come with him." Everyone followed Bingo into the forest. There was Jack sitting with a troop of monkeys eating bananas and playing. With a lot of cajoling, the police managed to get Jack away from the monkeys. He came back delighted with his adventure, quite unaware of danger. So kids, we should not go away from the house alone. We should play near the house with our friends in the guidance of elders.